This presentation is for IEA 515 Environmental Microbiology presented by Yuping Kaur. Microbiological safety and control of organisms. This slide will discuss the sterilization and disinfection, the where, the when, and the why. First, to start with the definition of sterilization and disinfection. Sterilization describes a process that destroys all forms of microbial life, including vegetative spores, whereas disinfection describes a process that removes many or all pathogenic microorganisms except bacterial spores on inanimate objects. What are the differences between sterilization and disinfection? Sterilization is an absolute condition. There is no viable organism is present on sterilized items, and various methods employed such as steam, heating, dry heat, radiation, and sterile filtration. Whereas for disinfection, it is not an absolute condition. It is disinfected objects have lesser number of the microorganisms, various types including chlorination, coagulation, and segmentation. Where is disinfection used? On inanimate objects that cannot be sterilized, in ventilation systems after the reopening of buildings due to shutdown, on surfaces of laboratory benches, external areas of equipment and spaces, in childcare and hospital settings. This slide shows all the places where disinfection is used. Now, let's go to the when and why is disinfection used. When is disinfection used? When the bioburden of inanimate objects needs to be reduced, but it cannot be sterilized due to its nature, which is heat sensitive, for large items and surfaces that do not require complete sterility, and is adequate with disinfection only. Why is disinfection used? Because it is cheaper, cost-friendly, and easily available, and for the ease of use. Here, some of the advantages and the drawbacks of some of the disinfection methods are listed. Some of the common disinfection methods include the use of liquid chlorine, and its interest is because it is low in energy consumption, and the drawbacks would be high storage risk. Whereas for the UV light, it is low in investment and operation costs, and the drawbacks is that it's inadequate depth of penetration and occupational health risk. Now, let's go to sterilization. Where is sterilization used? Sterilization is used in food industry, packaging such as the UHT Tetra Pak, used in decontamination of biohazard waste, for the preparation of microbiological media requiring absence of unwanted organisms, and sterilization of medical laboratory equipment. This showcases where sterilization is used in a laboratory setting. Here you can see on the left, the apparatus is being placed in the sterilization field pack and placed in the dry heat sterilization. And on the right, the media for microbiological use is being placed in an autoclave to be sterilized using moist heat. When and why is sterilization used? When? For items that can withstand temperature, for all critical medical devices intended to be used in contact with sterile tissues, and recommended for semi-critical devices intended to be in contact with mucous tissue or non-intact skin. Why is sterilization preferred? Because sterilization completely sterilizes and will not cause sepsis to sterile tissues in laboratories. Microbiological media is required to be sterile to prevent cross-contamination or growth of unwanted microorganisms. Now, why is sterilization used? Some of the advantages and disadvantages include for heat sterilization, it is simple, fast, effective, high penetration, and ability of no toxic residues. Whereas for irradiation, it is high penetration ability, low temperature, effective, easy to control, and no residue. Thank you. this is all we have for today. I hope the presentation has been informative.